Hi folks, this is all the fruit and today I'm foraging in the Bintulu Zoo on the island of Borneo in the state of Sarawak in Malaysian Borneo. Yeah, Bintulu doesn't seem to have a botanic garden, but people in the zoos, they collect animals and usually they also collect interesting plants. So if you have no botanic garden, a zoo is quite a good address to find interesting plants. Let's see here, for example, Phoenix robellini, a small palm tree from Southeast Asia, with actually quite nice fruits, but this one has got no fruits. And of course coconut trees, those are quite old, so it will be quite difficult to get the fruits down from them. With palms, when they get older, they don't get thicker, they just get taller. So you see a tall palm, you know that it's an old palm. And it seems, yeah, that this garden has been established a long time ago, because even the ornamental palm trees are quite tall. Here we have again the coconuts, and here we have some nice big mango trees. Oh, by the way, some giant orchids. This species here can form clusters as big as a house. Most probably they have taken this down from a tree they cut down and brought it here to the Botanic Gardens, so now it survives without its tree. Well, let's check out those huge mango trees. Unfortunately, they are not in season, so I don't even know what species they are. Oh, look at that! They have a fern garden, a palm garden, an orchid garden, a cactus complex, a bougainvillea collection. Yeah, it's mostly a zoo, but as you can see, they also have a couple botanical departments. That's good, that's good. And it's also very beautiful. Yeah, Bintulu is a city of very beautiful, huge parks. Well, oh, and look at that. There is actually a mango hanging here from this tree, and it's on a very close branch. Can you see it? It's still green, but already quite big. If it falls down, even if it's green, they will collect it, especially now that we're out of season. Even a green mango is better than no mango. Most of those are fruit trees, especially the ones in the background, but did I already mention that we are not in the fruit season? Yeah. This visit to Borneo, I've been very unlucky with the fruit season. Here a young oil palm, by the way. Cauliflorus fig is hanging full of fruits, but they are still unripe. Cauliflorus doesn't mean that all the fruits have to be on the stem. As you can see here in the background, a lot of them are on the branches and even on the small twigs. Depends on the fruit, but usually even in cauliflower species, not all of them will be on the stem. Nice vines. This is almost a jungle-like environment, although I'm pretty sure that it has been managed at some time. However, the area is surrounded by jungle, some of it even of quite decent quality. And the good thing is, I always love the signs, big signs, also Latin signs, also the names in Latin, so that you can Google them and even find websites which are not in Bahasa. Quite a good idea. And also this is quite a good jungle in the fruit season. There will be a lot of wild fruits here. Here also a lot of fruit trees. This here seems to be a mangosteen. Oh, I love mangosteen. And this seems to be another Garcinia. Oh, look at that. There are still mangosteens on the ground. Then there should also be mangosteens on the tree. strange. There are some fruits which have been thrown down by some fruit or seed-eating animal during the last week, but the only ones I can see on the tree are really tiny, really young fruits. Here we have a good sized fruit, not ripe yet, as you can see, and already something has enjoyed it. So it seems that those things get the fruits even before they are ripe. Or there is another possibility. There are white and pink varieties of the mangosteen. Why not green varieties? I didn't see any with nice purple color on the ground. Maybe those don't get purple at all. So I have to look more closely. Small one, basically still a flower over there. Oh, I tried to clean my camera, but I used some coconut oil on my skin, so yeah, the camera has also some smeared all over it. Sorry for that, and I don't seem to have tissues with me, so you'll have to enjoy a blurred picture. Well, I can describe to you what there is. No fruit. Some lime here. Quite a good sized tree. First I thought it's a kasturi lime, but no. This is some sort of mandarin. Look at those. They are bigger than kasturi limes. Also the kasturi tree would be more upright. Well, with tropical citrus fruit, there seems to be even some tangelo-like thing. Oh, the one down there was kind of softish. Was it kind of ripish? Oof. All the ones up here are hard. What a pity. Yeah, with tropical citruses, you can also have fruits which are green but already ripe. Guess I got myself into some sort of orchard here, folks. Good, good. Dukulangsa tree, but not in season. Well, I guess officially this year is the Bougainvillea collection. Unlike in the subtropics, here it's not so accepted to have the Bougainvillea like this one, big vines or shrubs or even tree-like plants. Here you keep the Bougainvillea in pots, and so people can amass big collections even in a small garden. However, as far as I know, Bougainvillea is not edible. Correct me if I'm wrong and I'll make a video on it. Another Dukulangsa tree without fruits, and underneath it another mangosteen, and down here something else which looks like a Garcinia. What about the second mangosteen tree? First we check on the ground. Yes, there are fruits which have been ripped off during the last week or so, or maybe 10 days. So it is still, well, don't think you can say it's in season, because there are very few fruits on the ground, but that means we can still get lucky and find the odd off-season fruit here. Yeah, can get lucky, but there is no guarantee. Oops, okay. There is a fruit down here. Mangosteen fruit. Oh, wait, there is also one on the ground, and like with the previous tree, it's still green. Where is the one which is still on the tree? I saw it, it's here. Well, here, one has been ripped off. Where is the one I saw? Standing right next to it. Up there, some animal has eaten one, but the one I spotted Here it is. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, this animal apparently doesn't need truly ripe fruit, so it's kind of an unfair competition. This thing can climb 100 times better than me, probably can fly, and it also enjoys unripe fruits. I kind of doubt that I will enjoy any mangosteen here and now. Look at that, the little son of a loving mother even has a favorite place where he or she or they eat the mangosteen. See this? All this is mangosteen pieces which have been chewed off. It's even possible that this tree is in season and nobody is noticing this because the fruits are disappearing while still green. What a pity. Oh, and mosquitoes are biting me on my head. That's fun. Why is this mangosteen yellow? Guess because it's rotting while still unripe. Oh, mangosteen is the queen of fruits. I want it. Here is another mangosteen tree. Also not a single fruit. Another dukulangsa tree, not a single. Oops, over. Okay. Well, nutmeg. I guess if there is nothing better, we're gonna eat nutmeg. Let's see what this is. At least a nutmeg tree is hanging full of fruits. So let's go eat nutmeg. Here it is, folks. The most revered fruit in Malaysian culture, buah pala, the head fruit. The head is the most sacred part of the body, and the head fruit is the most sacred of all fruits. Well, when they were exporting this for thousands of years, and when the nutmeg, well, the locals are also using the fruit, usually not fresh. It has a nice sour taste with some nutmeg flavor. So they'll make it into juices, they'll pickle it, they'll slice it and put it into curries, they'll pickle it with salt, with sugar, they make a lot of juices and drinks out of it. The fruit basically never arrives in Europe. However, the two other parts arrive there. This is the maize. This red thing is an arillus, botanically speaking. When the fruit is ripe, this is separated and is being sold, and it's very expensive. In German they call it the nutmeg flower, but it's not a flower, it's an arillus which comes out of the fruit. And here is the most important part, the nutmeg itself. The seed is the nutmeg. This looks a little bit strange, so maybe it's not. Well, yes, it is ripe because it already burst open. That's what the nutmeg looks from the inside. This one is a little bit rotten. Yeah, folks, this used to cost several times its weight in gold in Europe. And then one of the main reasons the Europeans drove around Africa and came to Southern and Southeast Asia was to get this thing, and also a couple other things like pepper and cinnamon and so on. But this one for thousands of years was the most valuable of all spices. And as I said, it still is highly revered here in those countries. They used to call Penang the nutmeg island. Now it's probably the wealthiest Malaysian island of all. Here we seem to have another Garcinia tree, actually two of them. Pity they don't have labels for the fruit trees. That would help a lot. because there are so many Garcinia species, and there are even a lot of forest Garcinia species which are not being cultivated, which should be cultivated. Is there anything on the ground? Yep, this could be the piece of a Garcinia, or it could be something else. Yeah, Moristica fragrans, Pala nutmeg. Yeah, I can recognize this one. I want a sign for those two here, folks. Well, here seems to be a durian. Highly unusual growth form. Half of the tree is missing, and the rest is branched and sprawling. And look at that, this branch even goes all the way to the ground. Durian is not in season. There are very few low quality, horribly expensive fruits on the markets. However, if I'm lucky, I might be able to film some durian flowers here. They are quite large and pollinated by bats, and you rarely get the branches of a grown tree so low, but no durian fruits, no durian flowers. Here we have jackfruit. 2 jackfruit trees, at least 2, maybe there are more. What is this? This is a fruit tree too. Oh, I cannot recognize it. Well, this could be Samartocarpus too, yes. Yes, it looks like Samartocarpus, but which one? There are dozens of species, and oops, oh. This is champedak. Well, I mean, it could also be a very small jackfruit. I don't know if it's coincidence that it's lying under this tree. It's possible that some animal brought it over from another tree. No. Here is another one lying under this tree. Yeah, this could well be champedak. They seem to plant the trees in pairs, probably to promote pollination. So I guess this here could also be champedak. Also, folks, wherever there are fruit trees, especially in areas outside Europe, I've noticed, there is usually a big pole hidden nearby. Guess what the pole is for, folks? Yeah, the pole is so that you can enjoy the nice fruits and don't have to throw the branches like this one that's lying around here. This fruit orchard is horribly interesting, but the most interesting things have no labels. Here in the background we have several different mangoes. This is probably a tarap. Artocarpus, what was it? Let's see, folios. Well, Saravacensis was the Bintulu, but it's similar to the tarap. Here we have another Artocarpus species. But no fruits, and without fruits I cannot recognize it. Down here, 2 more Ducolangsa trees, another Artocarpus, a couple more Ducolangsa trees, other fruit trees behind them. Wow, I'm already getting confused, folks. So many fruit trees, and it's so sad that we are not in the fruit season. Here, oh, there it is, the son of mothers. The son of 7 fathers, the squirrel. Yeah, if you have watched Ice Age, squirrels are always the culprits. And those squirrels here, I'm pretty sure they are the ones eating the wonderful mangosteen. They don't even appreciate the fruit. I guess they eat the seed. Here we have the Casturi or Calamansi lime. I'm afraid that those are also a little bit out of season, small dryish fruit. Very versatile fruit. Sour flesh, but sweet rind, because it's apparently a kumquat hybrid. Butterfly house down there. Another Ducolangsa tree here. Somebody complained that my phone hardly stays in focus for more than a second or so. Here the rootstock of this tree is coming through. They are cutting the rootstock, but it's producing more and more branches. Yeah, that's what you usually need to do. If you graft something, the rest of your life is a constant fight against the rootstock. Another calamansi. Here they call it kasturi. You can also call it calamondine. Come on. Would like at least a couple tasty dukulangsat fruits hanging from one of those trees. Yeah, their bougainvillea collection is really extensive. They must have well over 100 pots here, maybe several hundred pots. Ahead of me, something is flowering, something that could be a fruit tree. And here, this looks like another Artocarpus, which I can't ID. It's so frustrating, folks. If this was the fruit season, I would be like the monkey in the banana plantation. I would be munching my way through all those tasty local fruits. A wild fruit you find everywhere in Southeast Asia, basically from China to India to Australia. It's the Singapore rhododendron. You recognize it by its pinkish purple flowers. The fruits are actually enclosed in a capsule, and when the lid of the capsule springs open, you can actually eat the black stuff that's inside. But no ripe fruits here. Some nice flowers over there. This bougainvillea collection is extensive. I guess lovers go on romantic walks around the bougainvillea, and probably if you're in the fruit season, they also enjoy the nice fruits of this orchard. Down here is another Melastomateishi from the same family as the Singapore rhododendron. Well, in this one, you eat the whole fruit. It's blue and hairy. I guess this is not completely ripe because it should be more blue. The taste is not exciting. Let's get a more ripe one. The taste is not exciting, but yeah, it's not bad either. You know how you recognize the Melastomateishi? Look at this, of which I forgot the name. It looks like it has 3 veins, but if you look more closely, you will notice that it has 5 main veins, sometimes even 7. Same thing with this one. Looks like it has 3 main veins, but if you look closely, there are 2 more on the edge. Here from below you can see it better. That means Melastomateishi. That means the whole plant is antiseptic. Put it on your wounds or chew it if you have toothache. And also usually the fruits are edible. It says that the Singapore rhododendron is quite well known, but this hairy one, where I forgot the name, is also, I wouldn't say really good, but it's okay. Yeah, this is a general thing in the tropics. I notice the berries around here are usually not that tasty. The big giant fruits like durian or champedak are very tasty. Nice dragonfly, by the way. Bright red, and my phone is of course not focusing on it. Yeah, no chance, doesn't want to focus. Yeah, that's when you film with phones instead of with proper cameras. Yeah, the berries here are nothing so special. The big fruits are the tasty ones. Well, in Europe, at least with the wild fruits, it's like that. That's usually the little berries are the best stuff. So we were already here, but I spotted a couple fruit trees I haven't shown you yet here. Yeah, really beautiful bougainvillea collection. Beautiful. Well, here we have a star fruit. The beautiful pink or purple flowers. Cannot see fallen fruits on the ground. Cannot see fruits on the tree, not even unripe ones. But I hope you believe me, it's a star fruit. Now what is this with those little flowers here? It's in the fruit orchard, so could it be another nutmeg? Squeeze. Ah, yes, this is the other nutmeg, even with the sign. A matua tree, the stuff with the big leaves. Let's see. Little caterpillar. Is this the name of this tree? Strange. Here we have some myrtaceae. You can recognize it by the calyxes. Here are some fruits. Probably some Syzygium. There are hundreds of Syzygium species, and a lot of them, actually I think all are edible, and a lot of them have tasty fruits. Here is one, it looks like a rose apple. It looks like a rose apple. It doesn't smell like a rose apple. Yeah, very faint rose taste. This could be a wild rose apple or a very close relative. Yeah, I've had such flavored as wild or feral rose apples. Yeah, it's a rose apple. Taste of roses, but very faintly. Maybe if it's completely ripe, it will taste better. Somebody here really likes tukulangsat. There is another tree. And next to it are some water apples. Yeah, I can see the beautiful flowers over there, but I'm caught in a spider web. If you've seen the size of the local spiders, you will respect spider webs. I think I can go around here. This is what the local people call jambu air, this species of wax apple or water apple. Do you see how many? Thousands of young seedlings. There is a carpet of young seedlings under those trees. And unfortunately, they are not in season, but I can show you the beautiful, very conspicuous flowers. You see this in a local garden, you know that there is this species of wax apple growing there. What is this? It's a fruit tree, but I don't know. Oh, there are so many fruit trees down there which I don't recognize. Ah, the big one in the background is Encala, the Borneo avocado. It doesn't look like an avocado. The fruit is flat and pink, but it's very buttery like an avocado. Yeah, tukulangsat, water apple. I kind of stumbled upon this zoo more or less by accident, and it's really worth a visit. What is this? Another star fruit? It looks like another star fruit. And here is a zapote chico lying on the ground. And it's lying on the ground, what a coincidence, under the zapote chico tree. A wonderful fruit from Central America, which tastes basically like candy, yeah. And you don't only make candy from this, you also make chewing gum from this. Yeah, this is also the original chewing gum, but not the fruit. It's the sap. Let's see if there is a fresh cut here. Yeah, zapote chico sounds a little bit like chicle. And chicle is the original name of the chewing gum. Yeah, well, they haven't cut off anything recently, so I cannot find sap dripping down. Or I could chew it like chewing gum. By the way, the sap is not really sweet. This was added later sugar was added later by the white man. The Aztecs and Mayas and so on, they used to chew their chewing gum without sugar. More tukulangsat trees. This is a huge orchard, folks. I hope that those people would grow a lot of fruit trees in the zoo, but this exceeds my expectations. Look at that, another durian tree. Fortunately no fruits and not even flowers. 3 big mango trees. I think this is also a fruit tree. And there is a... oh god, so much stuff. The small thing with the big conspicuous leaves is a breadfruit. The thing behind it is some other edible artocarpus. Next to it, this could be an encala. Behind it, more artocarpus. Here, a very interesting breadfruit tree with conspicuously small leaves. This could be the breadnut, like the older variety of it, because look at that. The small tree, well, small trees usually have bigger leaves, young trees usually have bigger leaves, but this one has very small leaves, so this could be the seedy breadfruit or the breadnut. Oh, what a pity I'm not here in the fruit season. But I think from now on I'll include Bintulu in my standard Sarawak foraging tours. I usually always went around Bintulu because I couldn't imagine there is anything interesting here. Apparently I was wrong. Rambutan tree, not a single rambutan here. This tree in the background, the sea mango or suicide apple. Yeah, it often grows near the sea, it can stand salinity. And unfortunately, yes, it's being commonly used for suicide and homicide. Okay, some nicer stuff. Here the Kemonting seems to be ripe finally. But I'm not the first one who is noticing this. See how the lid pops off the capsule? Same thing here, same thing with those 2 fruits here. As soon as the lid pops off the capsule, the black, here this one is about to pop. It's starting to pop. Now I'm popping it off. And here, oops, inside you have this black inside of the fruit. Usually it makes a big mess when you take it off, but this was not 100% ripe. Oh yeah, it's not very sweet yet, but good enough, at least some fruits. Here's some other artocarpus. Which one is this one? I knew this one, I knew this conspicuous leaves. Now I forgot them. What is this? Some guavas? Some guavas probably? No, some citrus. No, what is this? Must be a fruit tree. Oh, more. There is a real fruit forest behind it. Here another encala tree behind those 2 tall thin Garcinia trees. Another mango. Oh, look. This one is hanging full of bunches of tiny mangoes. See? More encala trees. They have a lot of encala trees here, folks. Wow. What a pity the fruit season is over. Bintulu seems to be more interesting than I thought. Here we have cocoa trees. Cocoa used to be a major cash crop here. It still is in Indonesia, but in Malaysia it seems the prices don't justify its cultivation anymore. I still like to eat it, but yeah, did I already mention we are not in the fruit season? So many different fruits. More calamansi limes down there. What is this fruit tree conveniently located close to the toilets? Doesn't seem to be completely ripe, but under a thin flesh it has a big seed. Yeah, this kind of chemical. Why are the succulents being grown under a roof? Don't they come from the desert? Don't they like the sun? Why do you need to protect them? Well, they do like the sun, but a lot of them don't like too much rain. So this roof is not in order to protect them from the sun. Yes, it protects them a little bit from the sun. It's not 100% translucent, but it mostly protects them from excessive rain. So you can water them here in a controlled way, and thus you can cultivate succulents in a rainforest climate. The funny thing is, in the same way you can cultivate them in a temperate Western European climate. Actually, frost is not a big problem for a lot of temperate or cold desert succulents, but the rain. So the same method that works here in the equatorial rainforest would work just as well in Britain or Germany, but with other species, of course. A lot of the species grown here are actually frost tender. The big ones are not cacti, they are rather spurges. Is this a cactus? I always forget if this one is a cactus. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like a cactus, but looking like a cactus is not a requirement for being a cactus. Actually, this thing looks exactly like a cactus and is anything but a cactus. Know your cacti from your spurges, folks, or you will suffer heavily. Well, this is a spurge, but the succulent vine growing on it is, let's check. Is a cactus. How do I recognize them? The spurge usually has 2 spines at each spot. The cactus has those little things called areoles with several spines, or several thorns, or one thorn and several spines, or one spine, or several spines and several thorns. Also the stuff in the center, most of it is cacti. Yeah, cacti have edible fruits. However, don't eat the cactus itself. It will not give you water in the desert. It will give you dehydration in the desert. Also, not even the cactus fruits seem to be in season. Wanted to show you some edible cactus fruit here, but nope. Well, actually here with the opanche you could even eat the nopales. I think you could teach the local people to peel them and eat them with some hot sambal. They would enjoy them, I'm sure. Why aren't they already doing it? The Spanish have been in this area for 500 years and they could have introduced some Mexican cuisine here. I'm sure the locals here would love it. Here, some cactus fruit, but of a species where the fruit are not too tasty. I am at the orchid garden. Orchids are edible too, but we don't want to overdo it here. Beautiful orchid collection, but they are not even flowering right now. Here a couple more fruit trees. A mango tree. Another artocarpus which will hang full of fruits in the fruit season. And this looks like yet another artocarpus with smaller fruits. Oh, why am I not here in the fruit season? This is a good garden. I officially approve of this garden. What I disapprove of is that I miss the fruit season. Yeah, a lot of those, even the forest-like areas, they will teem with fruits in the fruit season. I'm absolutely sure of that. Also, another good piece of advice, folks, don't steal orchids from here. If you think, haha, they have their valuable orchids here in the open. Orchids are valuable in Malaysia too. They are protected and they are expensive, so I'm sure they have camera. Oh yeah, here they have camera equipment. So yeah. There are a couple orchid collections I've visited in Malaysia, and before you visit them they tell you don't steal the orchids because the people from the collection will notice and you'll get in trouble. Yeah, they are hanging out here in the open. Yes, they are very valuable, but hands off. Young papaya tree in the background, by the way. And here, an oil palm. Oil palms are everywhere. And this one, you can even see some fruits. Oh, wait, somebody's calling me. Makota Deva, God's Crown. Yeah, strange name, but it's really called God's Crown. It's a very popular fruit around here. You see it a lot in private gardens. It's not really herbs. It fell into my hand. It's not really edible. It's medicinal. It tastes like medicine. And Normally it's much bigger, but I think this tree here is not growing very well. Normally the fruit would be 2 or 3 times this size. Also a lot of jungle-like areas around me. I'm sure those will be full with fruits. The fruits of this wine, they look like some Aristolochia fruits. Aristolochia is toxic. Stay away from it. Also, I stepped in some thorn. Oh, now I have to surgically remove it from my shoe because it's sticking through my shoe to my foot. So here is the palm collection. Well, it's not just palms. They also have here this agave, or is it this? No, it's this sister genus which I always forgot, and some cycas. But yeah, they do have a number of palms here. Rangoon creeper. Wait, this Rangoon creeper. I wanted to say this Rangoon creeper has some fruits, but no, it's again the Aristolochia. I will not eat those fruits. Here we have Ravenala marascariensis, a plant from Africa which I think parts of it are even edible, but most importantly use it to forage for water. In those leaf bases a lot of rainwater gets collected and it lasts longer and stays clean longer than if it's on the ground. And some Artocarpus behind it, some Artocarpus, several Artocarpus species which should be bearing fruits. There are so many different Artocarpus-like trees here with different looking leaves. I think they have a whole Artocarpus collection here. Oh my god. The Artocarpuses are incredibly tasty. They are the biggest tree-borne fruits. The only fruit that's even bigger than an Artocarpus is a modern pumpkin. But the pumpkin grows on a vine. But an Artocarpus collection, oh my. Even this big thing in the background looks like an Artocarpus. I'm sure that there will be over a dozen of different edible Artocarpuses here in the fruit season. Well, the palm collection doesn't seem to be too big. Maybe less than a dozen species. Not so big compared to the Singapore Botanic Garden or other big botanic gardens, but still it's nice. There is even more over there. Okay, yeah, it's not a bad palm collection. You can actually eat a lot of the palm fruits. Pocock Balian. Why are they planting Balian trees among the palms? Balian trees can grow quite big, folks. They will kind of interfere with your palm collection. The giant Strelitzia looks like bananas from the distance. You can actually eat part of the fruits. You can eat the arils. And here again, well, nice that they have labels, and big ones and stable ones too. But it seems they haven't replaced them for quite a long time. Is this an eucalyptus? Not sure. Nice jungle-like area. Must be teeming with fruits. The jungles around here and also the edges of this botanic garden. Everything, it itches in my fingers. Everything looks like it's gonna be awash with fruits in the fruit season. Here a young durian tree. At least I think that's what it is. With quite big leaves. Rarely seen, maybe never seen a durian with such big leaves. Maybe it's a rare species. Imagine if this is the ghost durian, Durio grandiflorus. Big flowers, maybe it also has big leaves. Over there. By the way, there were no visible fruit trees, no recognizable fruit trees for the last couple 100 meters. Pong, pong. Yeah, here we have the suicide apple again. This looks like dabai. Yeah, this is the Borneo olive. It's black, it's oily, it's tasty. It's very important for their culture, just like the olive in the Mediterranean. Why are they planting dozens of Balian trees everywhere? I mean, I totally approve of Balian, but so many everywhere? Those trees are so big that there will not be much left of the beautiful grass around here. Here, when they do something, usually they don't do it by halves. They do it a lot. Well, and then sometimes they abandon it, but not this garden. Another, yeah, quite sure this is Dabai. No flowers, no fruits, it's not in season. It's one of the most highly esteemed fruits here. As I said, it's the Borneo olive. Imagine like the olive tree, but for Borneo. So what's in there? Oh, cats. Okay, but this is a fruit video. So here a young papaya plant. It's not a tree. Over there a young banana plant. No, this is a fern. The small thing behind it is a banana plant. It's not a tree either. A mango tree. Big squirrel here. What is this? Citrus. Interesting. Oh, could this be the original limau purut? Look at the leaves. The petioles are very much winged. It kind of smells. It could be the original limau purut, because what they have here is limau purut. I think are usually seedling trees which are hybrids. This looks a lot more like limau purut than most of the trees I've seen here, but it still doesn't look like the classical limau purut. The vine growing on this tree is a passion flower or passion fruit, most probably Passiflora edulis. And here there are some pineapples growing and barbed wire in between. What are they keeping in here? There is a lion statue on top of this. No admittance, authorized personnel only. Don't tell me they have lions here. Well, they definitely have limes. And all the accessible limes have been picked. Well, good that I'm on average slightly taller than the locals, but this lime is not ripe, so I'm leaving it. Strange. Seems to be like a high security prison. Yeah, this is something where you would keep, well, maybe not the lion, this here? There was some sign about tigers here. Don't tell me they have tigers. This is not enough to stop a determined tiger. It's 3.5 meters tall, and just with a couple rows of barbed wire, the tiger will laugh about that and then jump out. Same with the lion. Don't know what tree is in here. Neither do I know this tree here. This looks like an area where they chop down most of the jungle but then let it recover. Here a giant taro from Borneo. However, this one with those purplish, well, yeah, the leaves are basically the size of car doors, but those purplish petioles, it seems to be an ornamental variety. 2 papaya plants, and between them this looks to be like Pipturus, stinging nettle relative with edible fruits, but I'm not going down there just for a couple small nettle fruits. The 5 o'clock tree or monkey pot, called 5 o'clock tree because at 5 o'clock the leaves close to show you that you are supposed to stop work and go home. Monkey pot because, like some other edible fabaceae, it has sweet pods, well, sweet and a bit tart. They are not of the highest qualities of monkey pot, like compared to tastier beans which people use. It's called monkey pot, but I know a lot of people, including myself, who like to chew on those. They're a bit tart, but they're also a bit sweet. Here is a very important tree for the dedicated forager. The flowers are lying on the ground. It's the African tulip tree, because the flowers look kind of like tulips, and the flowers are the most important part. You can apparently use the fruit for medicine or even eat them in some ways. But the flowers are the important part. You see, they are formed like an asymmetrical tulip. And unlike tulips, the petals are fused into a tube. And so after rain, water accumulates here. And when after the rain, usually the water on the ground gets dirty. You don't want to drink water from a puddle. But you can take those flowers. You don't even need to pick them. You just slightly bend them down and the water comes out. Normally there is more water inside because they are not ripped open like this one. So yeah, this is a very important source of water in parts of Africa, and also because it's grown as an ornamental everywhere around the tropics and subtropics. You can use it basically everywhere you find it. Well, in very polluted areas. Well, nowadays the rain all over the world is considered toxic from pollution, but outside very polluted areas I think it's still a much better bet than drinking water out of a puddle. Oh, come on, focus. Cute little beehives of the stingless bees. Yeah, they live inside hollow tree trunks, and basically the way how you harvest those is if you're a woodcutter, you find them, you cut off the piece where the beehive is inside and sell it to some beekeeper. See those tiny black bees? There are other black bees or wasps which are stinging a lot. But I think the ones they have here in this public park are the spineless ones. Look at it, they made a nice wax mussel so that no water can flow inside their tree trunk. Yeah, very important for pollination of jungle trees and thus for fruit production. A monkey pot tree. Let's see if we can find some monkey pots underneath. Some of them weigh several kilograms and they are full of tasty seeds, tasty big seeds. Don't think this shrub will have such giant fruits. Nope, cannot see anything on the ground. There are some small young fruits up there, but I think they still need to grow. What a pity. Okay, so I will not eat out of a monkey pot today, it seems. This snake was on the stairs just 5 seconds ago. Funny, a family with 2 small children just walked up here. Look at this, the snake is very colorful and moving in a very funny way. It has a bright red forked tongue. Whoops, and it's almost gone. Nice, a sea grape. Haven't seen one around here yet. It's in flower. There's also one unripe fruit. Just like grapes, those are quite popular for making wine. What's up there? Deer, yes. Sun bear, well, yeah, sea grape. They are mostly announcing the animals here. The plants, you have to search for yourself. Looks like I'm in some sort of orchard again. However, here I don't seem to recognize anything. Everything is being grown in a kind of an orchardy manner. Okay, I recognize the sea grape here. Funny, I haven't seen it on the local beaches. I think it's from the New World. I could imagine it becoming invasive here. Where am I now? I don't even know. Fruit trees. No, this seems to be a camphor tree. Is this a camphor tree? Yeah, could totally be. Tell me, folks, is this a camphor tree? Couple more interesting things in the reptile area. This is a male papaya plant. It can produce fruits on some occasions, but here they also like to sell the flowers, and they also make a vegetable out of the leaves. Hibiscus, probably Rosa sinensis. You can eat the flowers, they are quite tasty. Up there some syzygium, or at least some myrtaceae. Oops, oh crap. Okay, this was the crocodile. I think the crocodile was annoyed that I didn't pay it enough attention. At least this is not a giant one. Don't think that the crocodile that size would dare attack me. In Kuching they had much bigger ones. Another young durian tree with big leaves back there. Up there is a female or hermaphrodite papaya plant. Did they say tree when I talked about the male one? I meant plant, it's not a tree. Let's look at the flowers. Yeah, this looks like a female one. This is a female one. I was told that the hermaphrodite ones produce better fruit than the female ones. And here's some other myrtaceae. Don't even know if those are edible. Okay, they have some bigger crocodiles here. This here could like a piece of me, but I'm not interested in the crocodile. I'm interested in Terong pipit. This solanum plant here is the only eggplant which grows feral quite a lot around here. Over there is one with, here another smaller crocodile. Wonder what happened to its snout. Yeah, I like crocodiles. Don't judge me. Here's some bananas. Look like pisang hotel or pisang emas. And here the terong pipit. Those tiny things are being picked and cooked, and then they taste great. Is there some public access into the crocodile enclosure? Not so sure of that, but oh, hi buddy. This is one of the big ones. Maybe a dominant male. They have given him 2 females, one of which just hit underwater and now it's approaching. Can it jump as high as I am? Oh, how high can they jump? Whoa. It's lurking right underneath me. Oh yeah. Well, not too scared of those two. I'm more scared of the big guy back there. Oh. Okay. How high is this here? 1.5 meters? Nope. He can totally come up here if he really expects some food and gets disappointed. I guess those 3 are breeding here. Okay. Whoa, this is a big guy. Not as big as the biggest one I saw in Kuching, but this one is a, what, 14-footer at least? Yeah, definitely over 4 meters. Look at all the wounds on the snout. Has had a lot of fights. Okay. Yeah, let's keep this a fruit channel, not a crocodile fighting channel. Funny fact, you're not gonna believe me in how many zoos I got attacked by crocodiles. None of them managed to get me yet, but yeah, how many zoos were those? 3 maybe? Nah, 3 is more than enough for crocodiles. So my final verdict, folks, this Taman Tumbina is quite good as a botanic garden or for fruit foraging, and I think it will be even better during the fruit season. I think this is a Balian tree, but Yeah, one big one, and they're planting dozens of smaller ones, and they didn't even check out that little bridge. Well, anyways, not too many fruits around right now, so definitely worth a visit, especially in the fruit season, which is unfortunately not right now. Yeah, if you come to Bintulu, definitely check it out. Also stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich island of Borneo. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.